Hello friends, I hope that you've been well. In today's video, as you might have guessed from the title and or thumbnail, it is a week in my life where I try to make art every day. In the end, it ended up just being drawing for the most part, so I try to draw every day. Spoiler alert, I get to 6 days, not 7. So honestly, it's technically a fail, but not that bad considering, you know, typically people work a 4 to 5 day week. So, and yeah, I will say that this challenge was pretty interesting in the sense that it both gave me a sense of, oh, like I really can technically fit in some kind of drawing into most of my days if I really make the effort to, but also it helped put into perspective for me that I really often bite off more than I can chew in terms of what I think I can accomplish within a day or within a week. If you're not into vlog style videos, this is definitely not going to be for you because there is a lot of vlogging elements in it and I'm very chatty. So yeah, just as a forewarning. But without further ado, let's get into the video and I will give my full reflection at the end. Hello friends, it is January 30th and it is the first day I am tackling this Make Art Everyday challenge. I think it is a Monday and it is the first day to the challenge, so I'll probably start out with simple sketches and sketchbook stuff as opposed to diving straight into any kind of painting. And I think the main task I'm going to do is work on the February sticker rewards for my Patreon. The theme that I'm deciding for this month is, so in the past I would do like an anti-Valentine's Day theme, and I was thinking I would do something of that iteration this year, but then I was thinking about how Lunar New Year just passed, and in most places the zodiac, it says it is the year of the rabbit this year. However, for the Vietnamese zodiac, there actually is no rabbit, it is a cat instead. And so I think both animals are very cute, and I myself am Vietnamese, so I thought that it'd be cute to illustrate something themed with a cat and a rabbit. It's also, I'd heard that it's the year of the black rabbit specifically, so I think it'll be cute to have a black rabbit and then a white cat. So to begin, I decided to do some sketches in my Moleskine sketchbook with my favorite coal erase colored pencil. This is my quote-unquote ugly sketchbook where I do a lot of thumbnailing. And so here I'm working on the cat character. And initially I had thought I was going to do a cutesy white cat. And so that's why she's got the little bow and a kind of scalloped edge around her face. But it's one of those things where as much as you think you know what you're going to draw, as you start planning it out, the characters sort of just take a life of its own. And so you can kind of see already that this cat's expression has this little smirk. She's kind of snarky looking. And even though that is just not exactly fitting of the cutesy look that I was going for, that's just the type of personality that makes sense to me for a cat. And so even though with the bunny character that I'm drawing here, who I was trying to give like an edge to with like a spiked collar, her face just ended up looking very cute. So I just went with my gut and did them again, but this time switching the aesthetics so that the cat had a more edgy look and then the bunny has the more cutesy look. And even though, again, I had thought I was going to make the rabbit black and the cat white, I ended up switching them as well because that's just part of the process, right? You just have to feel it out. And even though you have a specific vision going in, you don't have to be married to that idea. And that's the whole beauty of doing these kinds of explorations. And initially I was thinking maybe I would have the bow on the side because I figured since the ear is kind of flopped over on the other side, I figured the bow kind of opposite to it would help balance the kind of composition, I guess, or the weight. But in the end, I actually ended up switching it, which you'll see in the future footage. So here I'm initially going in with just Procreate on my iPad and trying to recreate the sketches that I had done traditionally. And I know that there is a symmetry element on Procreate where you can draw one half and it'll perfectly recreate it on the other side, which definitely would come in handy for this particular one because it is pretty much symmetrical for the most part, other than I guess the original plan that I thought I was going to have like one eyebrow sort of raised, which I think I ended up not doing in the end. But I find that when I try to use the symmetry feature on this app, the sketch just looks a little strange, and I kind of like the more organic look of it not being perfectly symmetrical on each side. Hello friends, it is January 31st, day 2 of my Make Art Everyday challenge. I am hoping to get a good way, if I can finish, that'd be great, but I'm not going to hold myself too accountable to that goal. But I started yesterday but didn't get too far with starting the sketches digitally. I think what I might do is actually just take a photo of these traditional sketches and then work on top of them as like a base layer for the digital sketches, which I do pretty often if I have traditional sketches already. So I'm gonna work on that, and then I think I want to do them traditionally, so I'll transfer them onto some paper. I'm gonna do, I think, markers, colored pencil combo. I think it'll be a little faster and give it a little bit more of a graphic look than if I were to use watercolors. And yeah, I think that will generally take up most of my day today. I did just finish the last touches on my next YouTube video, which is the watercolor sketchbook tour. So I'm pretty excited about that video. I've very rarely finished a video early for sponsored videos, so I feel pretty proud of myself for getting this done early. And then print out the address labels for the January Patreon rewards. So yeah, I think that's like a decent day. And if I'm focused enough, I think it's possible for me to get these stickers done, and then I can order them, which would be great to get them done early. That's something I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the Patreon rewards early, so fingers crossed. So here you can see that I am working on top of a photograph of the traditional sketches that I took on, and I just imported it into the Procreate app, and I'm working on another layer on top of it to do a cleanup version of the sketch. And I'm also watching Chanel, aka Bitter Melon Bindery's live stream. I was so happy to have caught her live stream while I was working on this, because I find that I always need something playing in the background while I'm working. Otherwise, I just get too distracted. So I find that live streams are perfect as little co-working sessions for me.
It just kind of fell on my lap. So I thought I would be in nonprofit. If you haven't. Glue can just leave a mess on the front of the cover, and it's good. Tina from imawonder is an illustrator from Toronto.
I loved getting to meet everyone and sharing all these new experiences and just strengthening our parasocial relationship. I definitely want to host more group trips, and if you're interested, there will be 2 trips in.
So yeah, while I watched a bunch of With Cindy videos, I worked on fleshing out the sketches for the bunny and rabbit sticker. I decided to go for a bit of a retro anime style, especially with the bunny. I just think that this style is so fun to emulate. And here you can see that I'm fussing with the bow, like I talked about earlier, how I originally thought I was going to have the bow on the side. If you are familiar with my work, you'll probably know that I tend to favor, for the most part, symmetry. So the bow just wasn't working for me in the end. And so I decided to just completely forego it altogether. And I ended up going for a cute little necklace, which was symmetrical, which felt more suitable in terms of it matching more with the cat character. And yeah, I think that it turned out really cute. And I didn't want the colors to be too black and white. So I ended up opting for more of a purple vibe for the quote-unquote black cat. And then you'll see I end up going for like a light blue for the bunny instead of an actual pure white. I just really love playing around with color. And so I thought that they had a very cute like pastel look to them. And so the intention here is that I'm doing these digital versions as a planning stage for when I go do them traditionally with markers and colored pencils. And for the most part, I use the ink brush and the gouache brush for like the softer areas. And yeah, originally I didn't want the bunny to have bangs just so that it would contrast with the cat who has bangs, but as you can see here, I decided to give her kind of swoopy curtain bangs, I think because with the bunny hat it looked better to me to have more hair framing her face. Hello friends, it is the third day. I have just finished filming a whole bunch of short form content. I did a bunch of outfit reels, shorts, TikToks, which is why I'm all dolled up today. So now that all of those are done, I kind of did them in bulk because that way I get the best lighting. The sun is like on its way down now, and Toronto had been very, very gloomy for the past month. So I was very excited to finally have some bright sunshine to get some good footage for these outfit short form videos that I've had in mind for a while. So I will be slowly rolling those out over on all of the social medias and editing those and whatnot. But yeah, I figured, yeah, now that those are done, I'm gonna have a late lunch. Then I will finally get around to making some art today. So unfortunately, I did not get around to finishing up those stickers yesterday like I had planned. I pretty much finished the sketch and then the color palette exploration. So now those are prepped, and today I can actually get into working on them. And I'm confident now that those will get done today. And then tomorrow I can work on something else. So here I have the printed out just black and white sketches that I just print onto regular copy paper, and using my light pad, I transfer them into my marker sketchbook here. This is the Ohu marker sketchbook, and I just use my Cool Erase colored pencil to trace the sketch onto there. And then I think I use my Polychromos pencils as well to darken the sketch if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe not, I don't remember. And here I'm swatching a bunch of different alcohol markers, trying to match up the color with the marker with the color that I ended up going for with my digital version, which is quite challenging, especially with markers because you're just limited to a certain set. So I actually was using mostly Ohuhu markers, but I was also sort of digging into the variety of alcohol markers that I own, like Touch and Prismacolor. And yeah, normally I don't work well into the evening, but I was pretty determined to get these finished. And for the sake of my week, I really wanted to work on a variety of things and not be stuck on just these stickers. But as you'll find out, that is kind of the bulk of what ended up happening to me this week. I really thought I was going to get around to some kind of painting or other pieces of content other than these Patreon stickers. Hello friends, we are on day 4 of the Draw Everyday Challenge here. It's Thursday. I spent last night working on the rendering of this and I don't like it. I really felt pretty confident about the outcome of these stickers based off of the digital versions that I was doing. And then I spent a bunch of time working on this and I was like, I hate it. I really don't like it. And I kept trying to fiddle around with it to adjust it slightly to make it more pleasing to me. But I think that while it does seem like kind of a waste, I think I'm actually just going to make these stickers digital instead and just kind of go with my digital versions because I like them better. And I think that as a traditional artist, I have gotten into this mindset that most of what I do needs to be traditional, and that if I do something that's simpler digitally, it for some reason in my brain seems to be like it was less effort or something. But I did spend time working on those and I think they look cute, so why not just use them? So I think I'm just going to clean them up a little bit and like fiddle around with them a little bit, but I'm not going to change them too much because overall I do actually just like how they look. So yeah, I'm going to abandon ship on this. I had you can kind of see that I did the base color for the bunny girl, do the digital version here, send them off to print finally, and then I am going to get to work on the January monthly favorites spread, which I am actually going to be working in this sketchbook this time. Previously, I had worked in the watercolor sketchbook for last year's monthly favorites where I used acrylic paint markers. And this time around, I am switching it up and I want to use alcohol markers and colored pencils. And I have not touched this sketchbook in quite a while, so I feel like the monthly favorites is a good way to get into filling up this bad boy. It'll be fun to explore like a slightly different look for the monthly favorites spreads. And yeah, so I'm going to do the sketch of it today, and then tomorrow is the live stream. Yeah, it'll fulfill my drawing every day thing tomorrow. And depending on how long this sketchbook spread takes me to sketch out, which hopefully doesn't take me the whole day, but I'm also hoping to probably start editing some of those short form videos that I had filmed yesterday, the outfit stuff. So I think that should keep me occupied for the day. I originally thought I wanted to film the Patreon video as well, but as you can see, I tend to give myself goals that I never can reach, and then I'm disappointed by the end of the day when I don't fulfill them. So I think it's fair to just leave it at a smaller chunk of tasks. Traditional art will always be my preferred way of working, but I am trying to warm up to the idea of doing digital work more often because it is really efficient in a lot of ways. And as you can see from this week, the theme is that everything takes so much longer than I expect it to. So for Patreon stickers especially, I think it would be really beneficial for me to figure out a way to work digitally that I enjoy and looks similar to the type of work that I make traditionally. I recently purchased the Max Pack gouache brushes that has been recommended by many artists, so I haven't tried them out yet, but I look forward to exploring that in the future. So I was about to start the monthly favorites sketchbook page, and what I like to do for the title of the month is use a ruler to map out a straight line on the top. However, the drawer that I need my ruler from is stuck. And this is the second time this has happened to me. And what happens, I think, is in the second drawer where I have all of my rulers, one or two starts like falling in the back, and then it just creates this weird barrier. So love that for me. I have to basically take the thing apart, like, so that I can pull the drawers all the way out and then dig around to find the ruler. Okay, so now that I have acquired my ruler, I am now going to start mapping out my sketchbook page here. So throughout the month, I write down things that might qualify as notable things to include in the sketchbook page so I don't forget. And then by the end of the month, I have some ideas. And so I've been really enjoying Extraordinary Heroes, which is this K-pop group. And so that's going to be the starting point of the sketchbook page. I really liked their clown looks in the kind of their debut music video. So I feel like there's a lot of really good looks in when they're clowns, but I felt like his was the most distinctive because of the little like hair doubly horns, which I think is really cute. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this photo as a reference for the look, but in terms of the actual drawing, I'm going to use this photo as the reference because I like the lighting in this, and I think that a more serious expression suits the vibe that I want for this. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna start first. I think I'm gonna put him here, and then I started watching the 6th season of My Hero Academia, and so I think I want to draw Mirko over on this end, and then they're going to be kind of the anchor points, and then I'll sprinkle in other things throughout.
New content with well-established videos. That's an interesting point actually, because that ties back to the point I was saying, where a new video can do fantastic and an old video can do fantastic, and those two things can happen at the same time, right? Then noise is historical use of behavior on YouTube is inherently difficult to predict.
Yeah, in fact, it sounds almost exactly like the coolest thing you could think of. It almost sounds like a little kid sat down and daydreamed about their ideal theme park, and then impulsively announced that they were building it without planning. They were presumably well past the blue sky stage. In fact, in their behind-the-scenes videos, you can see that they had already hired a lot of the staff, notably even a team of special effects makeup artists who wouldn't even be needed until the park opened. And yet, at the time of the park's big announcement, many couldn't help but notice that they hadn't even broken ground on the construction site. The major news outlets that reported on it just kind of took it at face value and didn't go into much detail. They were just kind of like, it was ambitious, but not everything's going to be their opening day. The first phase of construction would only include the London Street, the town square, and that aforementioned 3-story ghost ship. Let's look at Facebook. If you mouse over the lock icon, verified by DigiCert. Twitter, verified by DigiCert. Tumblr, verified by DigiCert. Thank God they're keeping my romantic gifs of Sherlock safe. So in 2002, Brett Schneider.
And so the following day, I went ahead and did the live stream using colored pencils and alcohol markers. It was a lot of fun. If you don't know, I pretty much do these monthly now at the beginning of the month, where I do a monthly favorites page, and I have them all saved on my channel so that you can watch them back later if you want to have a co-working session or something in the background. Hello friends, it is Saturday, February 4th, and I didn't film, I think, myself on camera yesterday, but as I had mentioned, I went ahead and did the January monthly favorites live stream, and it was so much fun. As always, there was a little bit of chaos, a lot of fandom chat, and just good vibes all around. I didn't fully finish the page yet, but it's on its way. Not too bad. I'm gonna finish up this page, I think, tomorrow. I kind of want to take a little breather from it, maybe, refresh my perspective on it and then come back to it. But in spirit of this challenge this week, I am just going to do some highlighter ballpoint pen portrait studies instead, to do some drawing today, but keep it pretty chill since, it is the weekend technically, and I want to keep things, pretty chill. So for my portrait study this day, I decided I wanted to draw Hoshi, who is a member from the K-pop group 17. I'm sure some of you already know about my obsession with this group, and I have been posting about them and drawing them for the past little while. They were my top artist for my Spotify Wrapped. My top 5 songs was all 17 songs. It's a little bit intense. So yeah, in this sketchbook, this is the Strathmore drawing sketchbook. I actually hate this sketchbook because it doesn't lay flat. You can see my hand is actually struggling to just keep it flat while I'm trying to work in it. So the paper itself is fine. It's just, yeah, this thing does not lay flat, and I don't understand why people love this sketchbook so much, but I am determined to finish it because I'm pretty close to being done. So anyway, I have decided to draw each member from 17 per page, and I basically fit 4 portraits per page so that I can try and get a good handle on each member and capture their likeness. And you can see right now on this page, I already have a Hoshi on the left side, which I was actually quite proud of. If you've seen my YouTube short of it, I have already posted it. And yeah, I start out with a highlighter, and I use a variety of different colors. I really like that blue. I love this pink. The pink is probably my favorite. I think that it goes really nicely with the blue ballpoint pen, especially with portraits because it's a warm tone and it kind of acts as blush and is really good for the lip color and whatnot. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying this combination as opposed to using a pencil because it forces me to really commit, even though I'm pretty precious about everything still. But there's just something just more interesting about using these mediums that are not erasable. And I like the way that it looks in the end. And also, I hate graphite for the fact that it smudges, and it also creates a shiny sheen in certain areas. So I really do prefer using anything other than graphite, essentially. And I'm hoping that down the road, when I've completed all of these portraits, I will be able to do a actual illustration series with each member of 17. But yeah, this is a very long haul kind of project for me in terms of trying to capture all of their likeness. And it's proving to be quite difficult. And I'm feeling pretty defeated here, as you can see. So I will hand it over to past Tina that had been very frustrated at the time. Oh my gosh, friends, this is a disaster. I don't know what it is. It just seems to be a Russian roulette with me with these ballpoint pen portraits. Sometimes they turn out great, and then sometimes they just turn out awful. This is all sorts of wrong. The eyes are too close to the nose, the lips are too far from the nose. the silhouette of his head is like completely off. I don't know what it is. And I had this problem with pretty much all of the portraits I've been doing. Like, and I do them on different days. Like I think sometimes even within the same day, they turn out fine. You would think that the first one would be more difficult in terms of capturing likeness and you would get better at it as you continue to draw them, but that definitely has not been the case for me. For some reason, some of these I get them right the first time and then can never do it again. Like June was a whole disaster. June, I feel like the first one was decent and then it just got worse and worse. It's so cursed. I don't know what happened. Hoshi, I was so proud of this first one. I posted it everywhere. This second one is awful. I'm like so defeated. This is Wanu. Wanu's actually, this first one is pretty good. These were on the same day. I think I was having a good drawing day with these two. But yeah, this one's really bad. And it just ruins this whole page for me. Oh, I'm so sad. Anyway, I might do that thing with like a sticky note just because I'm so upset looking at that. Anyway, I think I don't know. I think I'm going to call it quits today. I hate this so much. But yeah, I think I'm done for the day, which is pretty short-lived, but technically I did do something today. It just was bad.
So I ended up having a pretty busy Sunday and I did not end up drawing or doing any art that day. So technically I failed this challenge because I only completed 6 days. So here is some things that I worked on the week after the fact. This is a lips page study that I did for a exclusive Patreon video. I have lots of videos on my Patreon page if you are interested.
So the stickers have arrived and I thought that I would open them up here with you. So for my Patreon page, oftentimes I'll do like a larger, like 3-inch sticker. And then lately I've been wanting to mix it up and do multiple little ones. And oftentimes I go for ones that have some kind of accent effect like glitter or holographic, but I also really love the look of just a classic matte sticker, and I've been digging the idea of getting like a colored border. So yeah, they turned out pretty cute. I did make the error of not sizing them to be the same, like they're technically the same size, but because of the ear on this one, it scales smaller in terms of the actual face. So that was a boo-boo on my part, but the size difference I think is not that big of a deal. I think they look really cute regardless. And yeah, it's nice to be able to have them all finished for you to see since we were working on them this week. So that will be for February. By the time that this video comes out, I think you still have time to sign up if you're interested in receiving these rewards in the mail.
And to go along with those stickers, I did a illustration for the postcard that also features a bunny and cat character that is very reminiscent of the stickers, but not exactly the same. So you have until February 28th to sign up for the Sapphire tier for the print or the Emerald tier if you want the print and the stickers.
And yeah, that was my week trying to make art every day. And honestly, in some respects, I kind of consider it to be a fail. I definitely felt really defeated by the end of the week, which was a few weeks ago now, so I think I can have a little bit more perspective on it. And yeah, at the time I was feeling like I did not accomplish nearly as much as I'd hoped to. I thought that by the end of the week, I would have a number of interesting things to show off. Clearly, as you saw, there was a lot of stalling, I guess, in the sense of how things just took so much longer than I expected them to. And with the sticker designs, it sort of backfired and I had to restart my approach in a way. So that I think is while to me is not satisfying because I hope to accomplish more, but I think for you as the viewer, it's a much more realistic look into what can happen during any process of artwork and illustration, regardless of how much experience or how successful somebody is. And yeah, like, it's just the reality of being an artist is that things are not always going to go the way that you hoped. And there's a lot of fails as well as a lot of wins in any given journey. So it's not a exponential growth type thing. It's always going to be ups and downs in any given week, any given month. And I hope that is a nice reminder for all of you that that's just how it goes. And I guess I also want to make a disclaimer that in any given week, including the one that you just watched, I am doing a lot of other things behind the scenes that don't actually relate to making art specifically. So I think I'd alluded to it. I'm editing videos, I'm making other types of content for my social media and Patreon and whatever. So that's probably why it seems like things just take so long, because I'm not only drawing in any given day. So just want to throw that out there in case some of you might be wondering why everything took so long. But in any case, that was a very interesting challenge, and I hope that you got some insight into what a week can look like for me. And I know that I had talked about my Patreon page a lot. If you're interested, but no pressure, it is in the link in the description. They are the reason why I'm able to be a full-time artist in the first place, and they keep me afloat when things like YouTube or my shop are not open or not going as well as they typically do. So thank you so much, patrons. You are my everything, really. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.